The Bureau of Land Management is considering plans by a private company to build a 130-mile pipeline and greatly increase drilling near Chaco Canyon, New Mexico. Chaco is a World Heritage Site, known for its magnificent great house architecture, built 1,000 years ago by the ancestors of today's Pueblo Indians. Chaco Canyon itself is protected, but beyond the boundaries of the national park are hundreds of buildings, shrines, and fragile ceremonial roads that are critically important to our understanding of these ancient people and sacred to their descendants. Exploratory oil and gas drilling is already having an impact.
This area has had just an extreme amount of activity associated with the drilling of over 100 wells that the Bureau of Land Management is telling us is exploratory drilling. And what's happening is you're having all of these big trucks, big rigs coming in, hundreds of these trucks within an hour, and that's all new. You know, we're being told that this is exploratory drilling, but we firmly believe that this is full-scale development. The BLM is telling us they're doing a resource management plan amendment, environmental impact statement that's coming next year, and meanwhile all this is going down right in front of us. You have the fracking sand, you have the water, you have the nitrogen. I mean, it's a constant sort of infusion of these vehicles coming up and down the 550 corridor. I mean, who knows what some of this stuff is? It appears that that's associated with, that one's leaking, and it's not just confined to the 550 corridor, it's branching off into all these areas where the actual drilling is occurring. And what they do is they blaze through these roads, and the well pad that's behind us is the sole purpose of this road. They try to make the road as long as possible so they can spider off it later. The companies that are putting all this money into this infrastructure, it's all based on scale of economy, and they're going to want to put more wells and get more oil and gas out of here. And really the only way economical to get it out is to pipeline it out. Once they start developing to this extent, you would expect more. This is pretty much saying that these areas are sacrificed.
Each circle on the map represents a Chaco great house. These sites often have related linear earthworks stretching for miles into the landscape. The proposed pipeline would carry oil from the Liebrook area south, passing near 5 great houses. One example is Pueblo Pintado. The pipeline would pass within a mile of this site, where researchers believe that ancient roads, not yet fully documented, would be threatened.
We're only probably about 10-15 miles from Chaco Central. They have archaeologists come out and flag this area. The blue means there's something going on here. This area here was a quarry site that was being used for tool making, and using this chert that I think was made out of petrified wood. But basically, this is an indication of a really important area, maybe 1,000 years ago. The project was put right through the middle of the archaeological site. The BLM, I think, wants people to believe that this there's nothing here, it's a wasteland, it's barren, but it's a very much an important, integral part of our heritage.